What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I got some new news concerning Adrian the Problem Broner. Adrien Broner has been in training for his upcoming bout with Manny Pacquiao, and Manny Pacquiao, is doing his own thing. I haven't seen much with Manny, lately, but Adrien Broner has a lot to say. He's been on media a lot. He's done a lot of interviews. He said a lot of interesting things. But I wanted to focus on his training. His training's looking good. He's looking sharp. His speed is there. Again, this guy is still young. His only thing has been focus and outside interferences, I feel, and a lot of his personality, with getting punches off. And I've seen some good things and some not so good things. The good things is his speed, the combination, what they're working on, and from what I could see, they were working on the jab, followed by a right hand, which was kind of weird to me. You know what I mean? So they focused on a jab, right hand, or a jab, right hand, 1-2. Then he ducks under the right, because I know Manny Pacquiao, of course, is a southpaw. And what I could see looking at that, I'm not saying that's their game plan, because I think that would be kind of stupid or careless to put what they were working on. But, if you could look at how they were working the mitts, you could see what they were working on, because his coach was telling him to let his right hand go. Let his right hand go, and he had to tell him that a couple times, and that's just the tentativeness of Adrien Broner at times. He doesn't really like to get punches off. Now, the good news is he's not in there with a younger Pacquiao, a guy that's, that comes for him. The only problem is it's hard to get people prepared for that stutter step. You know what I'm saying? That offense that he does, that offense slash defense that Pacquiao does. He comes in with those big calves and those stutter steps, they're feints. So they tend to throw you off, because it throws your head in a particular pocket that lines up for the left hand. Where I know if they're working on the jab, they're trying to keep Manny at bay from that, but it's hard to time that. And if Adrien Broner won't let his hands go, or on the day he won't let his hands go, he's gonna have some problems of his own. But because see, Adrian, if you notice something about Adrien Broner, he's a gradual fighter. He starts slow. He doesn't start quick. And he has to build up to it for some strange reason, because he labeled himself and mirrored himself after Floyd so much. But, that was only, he watched Floyd as Pretty Boy Floyd. And I think that Maidana fight really did something to his mental, because before that he was really free to throw punches. Of course, that fight also showed you the heart and his toughness, because he didn't get knocked out. He was dropped twice because he was in there with a bigger guy, a bigger, hard punching welterweight, which at the time Broner was new to that weight class. Let's face it. But someone like Maidana was perfectly made for someone that would mirror Floyd with the Philly shell. So but I think they're doing a good job. Again, he looks like he's in great shape. And he knows, I think now he knows the seriousness of this fight. His first pay-per-view fight. And if he loses this fight, he knows he won't get another opportunity like this, unless this is just one of those spectacular fights that, deserves a sequel. You know what I mean? A revisit. And he has the speed, mind you. He has the speed, and even Adrien Broner said himself, he's not talking a lot of mad shit either. That's good. Because a lot of times that, that could just build karma traits and bite you in the ass at times. But he said, he doesn't focus on Manny's age. And he shouldn't. Because the way Manny done Matisse, and I know Adrien Broner's no Matisse. He fights totally different than Matisse. Because he's not that tentative. Because with the speed, Matisse just didn't know. But the problem with Broner, if he takes his time to set up, to build up, Manny's waiting to counter right over that jab. That's exactly what I see quickly. He will counter right over that jab that I see that they're working on. You know what I mean? That's why I wonder, like, okay, why aren't they shooting a right hand lead? Maybe they are working on it. Again, this was just like a media workout, and Fight Hype was able to get in there and get some good and cool footage, which is something I'm going to do in the future. Locally here in a gym. So look forward to that. And also we have a nice card coming here, which I'll talk about, in another video. But it should be some good footage I'll have to share with you guys on that. But, Adrien Broner, back to him. I don't think that he's underestimating Manny Pacquiao. It could be a perfect age. It could be, PBC could throw, or Al Heyman could use Adrien Broner as a sacrificial lamb. You know what I mean? He might be no more than Mikey Garcia or Tyson Fury was supposed to be. And those fights remain to be seen on how they'll, pan out. But, if he's anything like Tyson Fury and he's able to prove himself, that would be a situation that was foiled by determination and true hard grit, and focus. Because Adrien Broner doesn't lose fights because his lack of punching power, like Paulie Malignaggi, or his lack of speed. It's his lack of activity. He has to be busy in there with Manny Pacquiao. He can't just take his time to feel, okay, now it's time to turn it. No, he has to go in there each and every round trying to win these rounds, round by round with Manny, because Manny's not going to stop. The only way you stop him if you knock him out like Juan Manuel Marquez. And if they were smart, they would actually bring someone in that has the most experience with Manny. Him or Timothy Bradley, and he doesn't get along with Timothy Bradley. I'm not sure about Marquez, but, he has beef with Bradley. Those guys were about to fight at one point. But if he was serious about this fight, like, if I was him and if I was his handlers, I would bring in a specialist like Marquez. Someone that, Marquez stays in shape. I haven't seen him in a while, but he's one of those guys that he's doing something. You know what I mean? He's not sitting on his ass. You know what I'm saying? So, I would bring in someone like that to help me with those angles, those stutter steps, and I'm wondering who they're going to bring in for sparring, because, again, it's hard for someone to emulate that style. Maybe they bring in Regendow, maybe, you know what I mean, that comes in and comes out. Maybe they can, because Manny's not a big guy, man. He's a small guy. You can see he's kind of filled out over the years, but besides that, he's relatively small. The biggest thing he has is his head and his calves. You know what I mean? So, but no, he looks good again. He looks sharp. He looks focused, to a certain degree, I think, and I hope that he comes in 100%. One thing I don't like about a fighter that doesn't reach his full potential in a fight and they get there on fight night, then it's like, damn, were you ready for this? Were you even ready? You know what I'm saying? That type of situation. So I'm just dropping that with you guys, letting you guys know what's going on. Of course, I'll leave the links. It's a couple of them actually that, were pretty productive. And you guys tell me what you think about this video. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been counterpunched. Peace.